Hello. Now today we are starting a new chapter. The name of the chapter is Residential Status. This is section 6. Determination of RS is the prerequisite for computing the TI of any person for the purpose of income tax. It simply means that you cannot compute the TI of your SSC unless until you first establish his RS. When I say RS, it means residential status. Okay? It is a prerequisite. It is the very first step in computation of taxable income or total income of the SSC. It is the very first step. Okay? Now, the RS of an SSC determines the scope of chargeability of his income. Okay? That means whether a person will be charged to a particular income or not, that actually depends on his RS. Okay? We need to work out the RS for all kind of SSCs. Okay? All SSCs means all the entities which you have covered under the definition of person, right from individual up till the other judicial persons. Okay? So you need to know how to work out RS for each such kind of entity. Okay? Today, now I am starting with the first entity, individual. So let us start how to determine the RS of an individual. This is section 6.1. This much has already been written here. Residential status, which is section 6, and RS of individual, that is section 6.1. Okay? I am making a kind of table here first, and then I would explain it to you. In case of individual, now please see, I would make it here. In case of individual, the first bifurcation of RS is that an individual, he may be a resident or he may be a non-resident. Now, how he would become resident or how he would become a non-resident, I would tell you, don't worry about it. First see how, what are the real statuses, RS for the individual. That means an individual, first he may become a resident or he may become a non-resident. Okay? Now please see, if he becomes the non-resident, that means this is the final stamp on him. He has now become a non-resident. Okay? Non-resident is a final status for an individual. But simply calling an individual resident, resident is not the final RS, the final status of an individual. Okay? Up till here, if you are able to work out by applying the test, I will tell you what the test is. If you are able to work out that this person, he is a non-resident, you are working your determination for the RS of this person, individual, is over. He has now become a non-resident. Okay? But in case, when you applied the test and the test shows that he is a resident, resident is not a final status in itself. That means you need to go further then. Okay? Now, once your individual is established as a resident, right, what we would do? We would go further. As a resident, he may be an ordinary resident or he may be a not ordinarily resident. We would call him here ROR, resident and ordinary resident. And here we would call it RBNOR, resident but not ordinary resident. Now please see that the final status for an individual is either he could be a non-resident or he could be a resident and ordinary resident, or he could be a resident but not ordinary resident. These three are the final status of an individual. Simply calling an individual resident does not convey anything. It does not convey anything. Okay, this is stoppage in between to work out the final status of your SSC, who is an individual. Okay, I am repeating this. In case of individual, the final status would be either he would become ROR. ROR is the final status. RBNOR is the final status. Non-resident is the final status. Resident is not the final status, but it is a kind of a stoppage in between, a kind of I would say a milestone to work out the final status of your individual SSC. Okay, so if you would call an individual a resident only, merely you are calling him a resident, it does not convey anything. Okay, so if you call him a resident and ordinary resident, yes, it is the final status. You call him RBNOR, it is a final status. You call him a non-resident, it is a final status. So far so good, there is no problem. Now we would come to the question of how to determine that he is a resident or a non-resident. Okay, now please see through this kind of diagram, you can see that there are two levels for working out the RS of an individual. The first level is, at first level you would work out whether he is a resident or a non-resident. Okay, the second level would apply only when at the first level he comes to be a resident. Okay, if at the level first he comes to be as a non-resident, it being a final status, no further working is required. Okay, second level you would do only when he becomes a resident as per level 1 conditions. Right? Now, how an individual would become resident, or when we would say that he is a non-resident. What is the test? Right? Now please see that we have been given two basic conditions, and on the basis of these two basic conditions we try to establish whether he is a resident or he is a non-resident. Okay, please see that in case your individual SSC, he is able to qualify even one of these two basic conditions, right, he would become a resident. Only in a case where he is not fulfilling any of the basic conditions, right, he is not fulfilling any of the basic conditions out of two, both of the conditions he is not satisfying them, then only he would be called a non-resident. Okay, now we need to know what are these basic conditions. I would write the basic conditions here. Basic conditions. Now you know that these basic conditions would give you the test, the parameters on which you would check whether your SSC, he is a resident or he is a non-resident. Okay, basic conditions. The first basic condition is, you are not able to see the BA here, but you are able to see this word condition. Basic conditions. Okay, let me make some space first. ROR, RBNOR. Okay, so I got that much space now. The first basic condition is that he is, when I say he, it means I am referring to the individual. He is in India for a period of 182 days or more during the relevant previous year. All of you, I highlighted the significance of this word relevant. Okay, the first condition says that he is in India for a period of 182 days in the relevant previous year. Okay, Let me write this. In India, for 182 days or more during the relevant previous year. This is the first basic condition. He is in India for a period of 182 days or more during the relevant previous year. Okay. Now, what is the second condition? The second condition here is that he is in India. First, listen to it carefully. He is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the relevant previous year, and for a period of 365 days or more during the 4 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Got it? Shall I repeat it? I am repeating it. The second condition says that he is in India for a period of 60 days or more during the relevant previous year, and for a period of 365 days or more during the 4 previous years preceding the relevant previous year. Okay. So earlier to the relevant previous year, you need to see the 4 previous years. Okay. So barring the relevant previous year, last 4 previous you need to check whether in those last 4 previous years, whether he was there in India for a period of 365 days or not. Okay. Now I would write this in short: 60 days or more during relevant previous year, and 365 days or more during 4 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Okay? No problem here. Now these are the 2 conditions given. If your SSC fulfills any one of these 2 or both of the conditions, okay, he would become a resident. In case he does not fulfill any of these 2 conditions, then only he would be called a non-resident. That means an individual, to be a non-resident, he must not satisfy, he must not fulfill both of the basic conditions. Okay. Let me write this here. For a resident, anyone or both of BC, basic condition. If he fulfills any one or both of the basic conditions, he would become the resident. Here, none of BC. In case he does not fulfill any of the basic conditions, he would become the non-resident. Non-resident is a final status in itself. Okay, so if he becomes a non-resident here, your computation part is over. He has now got a stamp that he is a non-resident for this particular previous year. Got it? But if he satisfies any of these basic conditions, minimum 1 condition, then he would become a resident. Okay? Now please see. Along with these 2 basic conditions, there are certain exceptions attached to them. What are these exceptions? Let me tell you this. The exceptions. What are these exceptions? Please see. Exception number 1. An individual who is moving outside India for the purpose of employment. Any individual who is leaving India for the purpose of employment. Okay, and the purpose of employment here covers a person who is the member of crew of a ship. Okay, this is the first exception that there is an individual who is leaving India for the purpose of employment, okay, including the case where some individual is a member of crew of a ship. If he is member of crew of a ship, and ship would definitely move outside India, okay, so that means he is leaving India. So exception number 1, leaving India for the purpose of employment. Or as member of crew of a ship. Okay, this is first exception. Okay, that means these basic conditions would be applicable on all individuals except where the individual gets covered here. He is such an individual who is leaving India for the purpose of employment, or who is member of a crew of a ship. Okay, what is the second exception? The second exception here is an individual who is a citizen of India. Okay, he being outside India, he comes to India during the relevant previous year. So an individual who is a citizen of India, who got Indian roots, who got Indian origin, and he being outside India, he generally stays outside India. He comes to India on a tour, and that tour could have any kind of purpose. Okay, so he comes to India in the relevant previous year. Such an individual is also covered under these exceptions. So I would write here as exception number 2. An individual citizen of India having Indian origin, who being outside India come to India during the relevant previous year. Now please see, let me again tell you, these two are the basic conditions which you need to apply on an individual to work out his RS, first level of RS, whether he is a resident or he is a non-resident. Okay, but I told you that there are these two exceptions. It means, the exception means, it conveys that these two basic conditions would not be applied this way on such individuals. Such individuals, number 1, who is leaving India for the purpose of employment, and who is leaving India as member of crew of an Indian ship. And second, an individual who has got Indian origin, he normally is outside India, he comes to India during the relevant previous year. Okay, so where such a kind of individual are there, okay, in that case there is a slight change. There is a slight change in one of the basic conditions. And which is that basic condition? Basic condition number 2. Please see, basic condition number 2 says 60 days or more during relevant previous year and 365 days or more during 4 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. The change for these exceptional individuals is in this basic condition number 2, and it would be this period of 60 days here. This period of 60 days here, in case of exception, would become 182 days. Please see, 60 days would become 182 days in case of these two exceptions. That means when you would see that your SSC is an individual who falls under any of these two exceptions, then in that case, the second basic condition would be like this: 182 days or more during the relevant previous year and 365 days or more during the 4 previous years. Okay. Though for all other individuals who do not fall under the exceptions, for them basic conditions, these two basic conditions, are there. But in case an individual is such who falls under these two categories of exception, in that case the first condition remains the same, but the second condition there is a change, and the change is the period of 60 days here would get replaced by 182 days. Okay. So if there is Mr. X who has left India for the purpose of employment during the previous year, for him the basic conditions would be: number one, you need to check whether he was there in India for a period of 182 days or more, and second, again you need to check that whether he is there for 182 days or more and during the last 4 previous year 365 days or no more. Okay, because you are studying this thing the very first time. Okay, so I am telling you that 60 days got replaced by 182 days. That means for these exceptions the second condition has been changed. Okay, but when you would understand these things well, when you have certain practice of doing certain problems on where you need to apply the basic conditions and exceptions, okay, you would come to know, or in other words, the final result, the final consequential effect of this change, that we are now changing 60 days to 182 days in case of these exceptions. The final consequential impact of this change is that for these kind of individuals, for the individuals getting covered under exceptions, there would not be any second condition. For them there is just one single condition, which is condition number 1. Okay, and this you would come to know on your own. Now let me try to explain this to you. If I replace 182 days here, I replace these 60 days by 182 days. Okay, so the second condition becomes that he should be there in India during the relevant previous year for 182 days or more. The same thing is said by basic condition number 1, that he is in India for a period of 182 days or more during the previous year. That means in case this kind of individual, he is there in India for 182 days or more during the previous year, he would become the resident. Okay, and for becoming the resident you need to satisfy only one condition out of, minimum one condition out of these two basic conditions. Okay, that simply means that for an individual who got covered under exceptions, unless until he is there in India for 182 days, for minimum 182 days, he would not become a resident here. He would not become a resident here. Okay, got it? In case of an individual, a normal individual who is not got covered here in exceptions, let us take an example. Let us suppose X, who is not covered under exceptions. Okay, during the relevant previous year he was there in India only for 70 days, but earlier 4 years he was there full time in India. Okay, now if we need to work out the RS of this person X, what we would see, how we are going to check it? We would first apply the basic condition that whether he is there in India for 182 days. He is not, because he was there only for 70 days. So that means he is not satisfying the first condition. Okay, now check him on second condition. Second condition says that he is there in India for 60 days or more. Yes, he was there for 70 days. That means this part of the second condition is satisfied. Okay, coming to the second part of the second condition, 365 days in last 4 previous year. I told you that in last 4 previous year, every single day he was there in India. So that means he satisfies the second part of the second condition also. Okay, that means now he satisfies the second basic condition and he would become a resident. Okay, now there is another individual Y. Okay, in case of Y, he is again there in India during the relevant previous year for 70 days. And the last 4 previous year, full time he was there in India. But since Y has got covered under exceptions, for him, the first basic condition, he is there in India for 182 days, he is not fulfilling that because he was there in India only for 70 days. Right? Coming to the second condition, even he would not fulfill the second basic condition because for him, the period of 60 days here would get replaced by 182 days. Okay? And that is why this second condition, it becomes redundant for those individuals who get covered there in exceptions. Got it? You're getting me? Okay. So that means for them, for the individuals who covered here under exceptions, for them just one basic condition. Just you need to check whether they are there in India for 182 days or more during relevant previous year or not. If they are, they would become resident. If they are not here for 182 days or more, they would become non-resident. Okay. Now, first level of ascertaining the RS is over now. Okay. Now you know how your individual would become resident or how he would become a non-resident. Even if an individual falls under the cases of exception, still you know how he would become resident or how he would become a non-resident. Right? Now coming to the second level. And second level you are going to apply only when at first level he becomes a resident. He comes to be a resident. Got it? Now please see. For checking whether he is an ordinary resident or he is resident but not ordinarily resident, okay, the test for this level of checking, we have got 2 additional conditions. Now what are these additional conditions? Let me write it there. For here, additional conditions. The basic conditions are for level number 1, first level, the checking for resident, non-resident. Additional conditions are given to check whether he is ROR or RBNOR. That means second level checking. Okay. Now additional conditions. The additional condition number 1, it says that he is a resident in India. He is a resident in India for at least 2 previous years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. I will repeat. The first additional condition is that he is a resident in India for at least 2 previous years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Okay? We are not counting the relevant previous year, but the 10 years we need to check are the 10 years which immediately precedes our relevant previous year. Okay? So do not take into account the relevant previous year when you are checking the last 10 previous years. Okay? Do not account the relevant previous year in this. This is the most frequent mistake committed by students in working out RS of individual. I'm again repeating it. Let me write it first. He is a resident for at least 2 previous years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Okay, no problem. Number second, the second additional condition is that he is in India for a period of, he is in India for a period of 730 days or more he is in India for a period of 730 days or more during the 7 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Immediately preceding the relevant previous year. So these are the two additional conditions. Additional condition number 1, he is a resident for at least 2 previous years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Just remember that in case of additional conditions, we do not refer the relevant prior year. The period given here in both of these additional conditions, it is a period after, it is a period prior to the relevant previous year. Okay. Now please see that he is a resident for at least 2 previous years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. Okay. Do not count the relevant previous year. The 10 years we want here, they are the years which immediately precedes your relevant previous year. Okay. Similarly, in case of second additional condition, he is in India for a period of 730 days or more during the 7 previous years which immediately precedes your relevant previous year. Got it? Now please see. If your individual fulfills both of these additional conditions, both, then he would be called resident and ordinary resident. Both. So I would write it here. Both of AC. AC means additional conditions. Both of AC. Okay. Or here I would write anyone or none. Anyone or none of additional conditions. In case he is not able to satisfy both of the additional conditions, maybe he is satisfying any of these two, he would still be called RBNOR. To become a resident and ordinary resident, he needs to fulfill both of the additional conditions. Okay? Got it? So I don't think it is difficult to understand it. Ascertaining the RS of an individual is not difficult. Okay? For ROR, how an individual would become ROR? For that, he would have to satisfy at least one basic condition, plus both of additional conditions. You are able to see? Yes. How he would become ROR? to become ROR, he needs to fulfill at least one of the basic condition plus both of the additional conditions. When he would become RBNOR? When the same, he is fulfilling at least one BC, at least one basic condition, so he becomes a resident, okay, plus any one or none of additional condition. If this is the case, he would become RBNOR. Third case, NR, non-resident. How he would become a non-resident? When he is not fulfilling any of the basic conditions. When he is not satisfying any of the basic conditions, there is no question of, coming up to the additional conditions. So if he is not satisfying none of basic conditions, okay, this is section 6.1, determination of RS of an individual, okay. Let me give you a summary of all this in few words. The RS of an individual has two different levels. At first level, we work out whether he is a resident or he is a non-resident. In case the test which is given for checking this, he fails in those tests completely, does not fulfill any of the basic conditions, he would become a non-resident, and that would be his final RS, that he is a non-resident. But if by applying the basic conditions, we check and we observe that he is satisfying at least one of the basic conditions, he would become a resident. The first level is over, okay. Second level you need to apply only when at first level number 1 he comes to be a resident, okay. Now for checking whether he is ROR or RBNOR, we need to check him on the additional conditions given. The first additional condition, he is a resident, and how he would become a resident? By fulfilling at least one of the basic conditions. He is a resident for at least 2 years out of 10 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year. And second is that he is in India for at least 730 days or more, okay, in 7 previous years immediately preceding the relevant previous year, okay. So if any individual fulfills both of these additional conditions, he would become ROR, otherwise he would become RBNOR, okay. We would do number of questions on these concepts, okay, from the study notes given to you. I am concluding the session now. 6.1 is completed. Thank you very much.